Hi, my name is James Hartle. Here, I'm going to tell you how to properly pump propane when a customer comes in to get it. Of course, you have your barriers here. The customer cannot step anywhere inside these barriers. They have to stay outside of them. You got to make sure you have your proper PPE, your gloves, your face shield, so the propane does not spray you in your eyes because it is very cold and it will burn. So that being said, come over here, you got 3 different size tanks. You have your 100-pound tanks, you got your 33-pound forklift tanks, and you have your 20-pound grill tanks. The grill tank and the 100-pound tank use the same ends. The only one that uses a different end would be the 33-pound forklift tank, which the threads, they are reversed. This is the end for the 33-pound forklift tanks. This is the end for the 20-pound grill tanks. And as for the 100-pound tanks, if you see here, you don't have to put any end on it at all. It goes right into here. And it is reverse threads also. And if you come over here, you got your on-off switch that turns your propane on and off. So you have to make sure you have that on for the propane to properly work. Okay, so now that I have my proper PPP on, you go over here, you make sure your gallon meter is at zeros. That's how you tell how many gallons you're going to charge the customer. You come over here, you turn your on switch to on. You come and get your propane hose, and if you were to fill up the 100-pound tank, one important thing you have to remember is your bleeder valve. When you're filling this tank, you want to have your bleeder valve open just a little bit. So you open the tank, turn it on, and when this bleeder valve spits out a constant stream of propane, that means your tank is full. And you shut it back off, make sure it's tight, and you unscrew it. And that's it. So, if you were going to your 33-pound forklift tanks, you're going to need this end. Put your end on. Make sure it's nice and snug. And you put it on here like so. And then that's when you're going to loosen this and be ready to rock and roll to fill this up. There is one more option with these tanks. If you take this off, you can fill it that way too. With this end right here. So, this here is how you fill your vapor tanks. And your vapor tanks go with your ride-on Georgia buggy and your floor strippers and all that. And then you would screw it right onto here. And that's how you would fill your vapor tank. Move on to your 20-pound grill tank. You can use just a regular end like this, like you do with your 100-pound tank, if you want to. But you can also use this end to go under here. And then just like the other two, and you have a bleeder valve on these too. You take a flathead screwdriver, loosen that up a little bit, and that's your bleeder valve. And you turn it on, you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so we actually got lucky. A customer actually showed up, so I can show you how I'm gonna pump the propane into his food truck. So the food trucks, they usually have these ends on them, which are the same ends that you fill the vapor tanks with. And then here is your release valve. Okay, so after we're all said and done and we have his propane filled up, we use our radios to radio up front and let them know how many gallons of propane the customer has. The customer has 19.8 gallons of propane, 19.8.
19.8 copy.
So the vapor tanks that I talked about earlier, that are for our Georgia buggies, they have a green ring around the top of them. Those are the vapor tanks for the buggies. You want to make sure they are secure in the cage. Okay, so this here is so you can move around these big 100-pound tanks, because when they are full, they are heavy. So you want to put it underneath here, and just like a regular dolly, lean back on it, and then you can transport it. A lot easier than hurting your back carrying it, that's for sure. And when it's all said and done, and you have pumped all your propane, for the time being, you want to make sure you wind up your hose so it's not a trip hazard. And there you have it. That's how you pump propane.
Yes.